kind of sucks, right? Like seeing the Robert Quinn stuff today. I mean, like on one side of it, I'm happy because like you got a 4th-round pick for him at this point, which a lot of people were saying like, oh, you'll be lucky to get a 5th or a 6th or something like that with the way he's playing this year. But like that guy was a leader. We talked about a pre-show. The guy was a leader on the defense. He still put up 18.5 sacks last year, which broke a franchise record, single season franchise record. I feel like on one hand, when you're a buying team, like you said, you know, the team that gets the player that's ready to produce.
Yeah, they won the trade already.
Right now they did. Whatever that 4th-round pick becomes, like we're not going to know until, you know what I mean? We're not going to know what the Bears do with that pick and like how that player is going to perform. And that's the hardest part to take.
Someone will make a faceless Twitter account sucking that player dry, and that player will probably not be good. And that's just like the cycle of trading players and the NFL. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a trade that was worth a shit for both teams involved. And right now, the timing of it, right? Like, think about the timing, okay? You come off your most dominating victory. There were certain points on Monday I didn't even know what the fuck to say because we haven't beat a team like that ever since we've had this show. And even before we had the show, I could not pinpoint a game that we looked like that, especially in prime time. And the way I look at it is this man didn't even get to practice on Wednesday. Like, he came to Hallis Hall and his key card didn't fucking work. And you saw Roquan's reaction. That's why I'm wearing Roquan's jersey today, because Roquan's my guy. But morale absolutely defeated, absolutely crushed. I'm looking at the injury report and the depth chart and just to see if the Bears already kind of moved someone up. And on the Bears website, first string D-end, it's just blank. What the fuck, dude?
Kevin Jenkins before the season depth chart out right now.
So frustrating. I know Bears fans are like, oh, glad he's gone, whatever. But the way our season is going right now, they didn't trade him at the beginning of the season when his value was the highest. And it's not that they were going to get a 1st or a 2nd-round draft pick for him, but overall, the whole situation is just frustrating. And I'm pinpointing the timing of it and just the player, man. Like, what the fuck? We had two all-pro defensive ends, and now we have Travis Gibson and a rookie in Dominique Robinson, who isn't bad, but
both of them are pretty solid. It's just like they're solid to their own extent. It's not.
It's just still like why are we doing this to ourselves as a franchise again? And I state, and Quinn asked me a few weeks ago, do I blame Ryan Poles or Ryan Pace more for the situation that we're in? And it is the man who has yet to wake up for the day that's just covered in Cool Ranch Doritos, just laying in his fucking lazies, like in his little fucking lounge, just chilling. That fat bastard, I don't like him. And I'm fat too, so I can say it. So I don't care. Cancel culture come for me, but I do not like anything that Ryan Poles has done yet. 63% new roster, and all of the great players that we had left on the roster, regardless of the money that they were due, we're still paying money on those contracts. Joey, I'm glad you had me pull it up before, but Tom Pelissero reported that the Bears are paying $7.1 million of Robert Quinn's remaining base salary this season, and then Philadelphia essentially gets Quinn for the minimum for this year, and then inherits non-guaranteed base salaries of $14 and $13 million the next 2 years. So you get rid of them, but you're still paying them, and obviously you're not in a window to contend. But like I said before we started, is it like the guy's going to fall off a cliff and not be productive? Like there's not a spot for him on our team, especially after already getting rid of Khalil Mack? No. That's kind of where I'm at with it. It's
well, and to your point too, like I feel like a lot of his poor production this season is kind of like, okay, you could see that from any real stud, especially when they're getting more double teams. Like I feel like, and I haven't like grinded the tape with this Bears team this season, at least defensively, to see like if he's getting a ton of more double teams, but I feel like that's the case, especially when they don't have somebody that's solidified in this league as like a staple on the other side. So I feel like they're kind of focusing more attention on Robert Quinn, and your production's probably going to go down there as far as sacks go. And like he's
and it's
going
not
to
like
go to Philly.
He didn't break the record last year for single season Chicago Bears
Yeah,
sack records.
No, that didn't happen at all.
Didn't happen.
That just we're just going to forget about that. He's worth a 4th round pick now. All of a sudden, like I think that right now that's where his value probably is. Like this right now, you probably got good value for him if we're being honest. But you should have done it before the season. We've said that multiple times. And he's going to go to Philly. The most frustrating part of this, he's going to go to Philly, and he's probably going to get home to the quarterback on average of 1.5 times a game because of how good that team already is.
Yeah.
So now he's going to go over there
and he's going to play against us later in the season.
It's going to feast against us. Look at our O-line. We haven't even talked about that. This game coming up could be ridiculous.
We're cooked because our injury report did come out today. But I mean, just a quick moment of silence for this podcast, because let's say you didn't listen to the recap right away and you wait until this episode comes out and you listen to the recap of last game and then like the first 5 minutes of this episode and it's just like cloud 9 and then I hate Ryan Poles. Like just like that, straight like that. Like the level of emotion switches so quickly. Obviously that episode was on Monday night, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The life of a Bears fan. We can't have it nice for 3 fucking days.
We go like we are the most up and down franchise as far as the fan base goes, and mostly just down. Yeah. But when we go up, we don't stay there very long.
I thought it was just like such a swift kick in the nuts where like I was already running like errands that I didn't want to run. I had to get like the emission test for my car so I could get my $3,000 sticker for it. Like Jesus, those things are expensive now. And all I see is like you know how when ESPN sends you an alert and it's not for a game or anything, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, what's that?
And then it says Bears trade, and I'm like, are you serious? And then obviously Robert Quinn. So Woosa, he is gone. He's probably gonna wreak havoc against us later in the season and kick us off the In the Hunt graphic. I am not trying to manifest that, but we are on that graphic as we speak.